Okay, it's time for an update on the Nazca mummies. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, this is one of my favorite pictures of all time. A sitting congressman holding the severed hand of a giant dead alien hybrid. This is nuts, but this actually happened in the recent past. Not only did he hold the hand of the severed hand of a giant dead alien, but he got a 2-hour briefing on the Nazca mummies. And who clued him into all of this and encouraged him to do it? None other than David Grush. Yeah, because David Grush had seen some stuff in briefing materials, maybe more than that, we don't know, that seemed to indicate that the Nazca mummy beings were very similar to things that he had come across in that briefing material. So Eric took a look and got briefed on it by Dr. Izalche. Here Jaime is discussing that.
Therefore, Dr. Jose Sales, a medical specialist, especially in forensic science, without being redundant, gave him a full presentation and talked with him for about 2 hours, clarifying all his doubts.
Yeah, so really fascinating. Oh, and of course, we're putting up with AI dubbing, so frustrating, but whatever. At least we do have AI dubbing, so I don't know why they can't render it into the voices of the people speaking, but it can't at the moment, or it's not. So, but here is the good doctor, one of the researchers of the Nazca mummies, talking about his experience with Representative Eric Burleson. Specifically, the congressman had some questions for the doctor.
What did he ask you? What interested you? Well, Jamie, it was definitely an honor and a privilege to be able to speak with a congressman like Eric Burlington, and especially that he showed interest in the subject of the dried bodies of Nazca, and he asked many questions, especially about their anatomical structure, how it was possible that they could have lived, how they could have moved, how they could have eaten, etc. In other words, he expressed many questions of anatomical, physiological, and functional nature, and I had the opportunity to detail in my answers the findings that we have made in this research. Well, that interest demonstrated his willingness to consider the authenticity of these bodies. I am sure from my perspective that yes, he is showing a genuine interest in the research of these bodies.
Yeah, just super fascinating. Yeah, and I think that's the fingerprints of one of the beings, maybe Maria, who doesn't have human-style fingerprints at all, but has fingerprints that correspond more to like a lizard or something. Really interesting. Yeah, and they also go into some details talking about the disinformation against them, particularly by the lovely Flavio.
Mr. Estrada has made his report all by himself based on what he has already spread everywhere. That it is a modified mummy, that it is a mutilated mummy, that they have added bones to the hands, that it has bones from the hands and the feet. In other words, a whole mess, a labyrinth of things. And the radiologist uniform is missing. And why isn't it there? Because in the document that Tonito can help us with, please, let's see, from the document that Jorge Flores obtained, it is clearly seen that the radiologists have not been able to issue a technical opinion because the images are not compatible with the system they have.
Yeah, so the Ministry of Culture and the lovely Flavio Estrada rendered their verdict that the Nazca mummies are fakes or whatever without looking at the full information because they couldn't open the file, or the radiologist couldn't open the file. Are we buying that? Okay. All right, but there you go. Let's see. But they get into other stuff, and this is of course from Jaime's special with Joyce Mantilla, who's been instrumental in bringing the Nazca mummy story forward, along with Thierry Jamon, who is unfortunately in a different camp from these guys, not necessarily friendly with each other.
Farce, it's a mockery of public opinion and an example of how things are handled. Now, according to what you told me, they now have a legal deadline until January 5th, 2026. Sure, the deadline expired. They had 2 years to declare it as assets until January 5th of last year, but they modified their rules on their own to have 2 more years, that is, until January 5th of next year, 2026.
And they're talking about declaring the mummies as illegal cultural patrimony of Peru, if I'm using the right term there, which I think would give the mummies some degree of protection and authenticity because they would be declared legit, not fakes, not dolls, not constructs, or anything else. It would almost be a way of declaring these things real. If that were to happen. But they've been using some sneaky moves, the Ministry of Culture, to prolong that deadline so they don't have to reach that determination. So the government doesn't have to reach that determination. Very frustrating.
To make the declaration as assets. It can't be provisional assets all the time. So, everything has dates and expirations. So they have until January 5th of the next embargo. Legally, it could be earlier. Sure, but look, I had access to these images that your audience is seeing. I just downloaded some software to my computer and I was able to see the images that the radiologist said. Look, imagine, we can see them, please.
Yes, those are the images of the tomography scans that the Peruvian state has done. So, if I was able to see them on my computer, all the people we have asked for an opinion on have been able to see them on theirs, like the radiologists who have recently been trained by the public ministry. They have been trained recently. I have a source, that is the one.
We are seeing, it is the image.
And it is clearly seen there that the hands and feet have not been modified. Exactly. There are no modifications and I was able to see them on my computer because the radiologists, great professionals from the public ministry, have not been able to see them. It is a simulation of the procedure.
Well, yeah, so there you go. And they go on and you can watch the full presentation at your leisure, and I'll of course link to it. But yeah, the bodies have not been altered. They are legit bodies of NHI. Now, what exactly that means, we don't know. Are they actual aliens? Are they hybrids? They seem to be hybrids of some sort, according to the best DNA that we have available. And there have been multiple genetic studies on them. I would like to see more and better genetic studies. My wife is a geneticist, and she's kind of clued me in to how all of that works and the problems inherent in it, and why we do need the best quality labs to do the DNA analysis. But whatever, the beings are not manipulated. They are authentic bodies of non-humans. And since there are so many different kinds of them, there's 5 to 7 different varieties of the Nazca mummies that we know about, all tridactyl, but with radically different physiologies, sizes, reproductive systems. They didn't all naturally evolve that way. There's no natural way to get there. Some are egg-laying beings, some would have given a live birth, some were tiny, some were giants. We only have the severed hands of the giants, sadly. They have hinted, they have outright told us they have at least one head of a giant. Unclear if that's, a giant that belongs to the hands or not. Frustrating they haven't released, images of that giant guy. But there are bodies yet to be revealed to the public, and there's a lot of, data yet to be revealed. Can't wait for that. But yeah, bodies are legit. 50 plus scientists have reviewed them and authenticated them to the extent of their speciality. Dr. John McDowell, who won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize in Forensic Science in America, prestigious award, has validated at least Maria and 1 or 2 others, at least, as being genuine, as being non-manipulated, once living organic beings, genuinely tridactyl, genuinely 3-fingered and 3-toed beings. And the disinformation continues and the obstruction continues. The Twitter channel, formerly known as Feminist Love Letter, reports that there is a delay or a halt in the hearing in Peru. There was going to be another government hearing in Peru following the first one about the Nazca mummies, but apparently there has been a delay on that or a halt in that, and it's unclear at the moment when the next hearing will be. So the obfuscation, the obstruction continues. Very frustrating. Another frustrating thing is the condition of the bodies of Maria. Incredible History reports that it appears that the mummy Maria has experienced significant deterioration over the last 9 years. I'm not sure when the photo on the left was taken, but I took the photo on the right this April in 2025. Why is Maria deteriorating so quickly? And that's how she was before. And you can clearly see that there's been a lot of deterioration as she's been studied and handled and all of that. So I do not want the mummies taken to America. I think that would be a horrible, grievous mistake. At the same time, we need to take good care of these guys. They need to be studied in the best labs possible. You know, we need all the resources that can be brought to bear to preserve and study these incredible specimens, which constitute, in my mind and many others, UFO disclosure. We have bodies, y'all. We've got bodies of NHI. They didn't get there naturally. They did not evolve there naturally. They were almost certainly products of genetic experimentation or, hybridization of some sort or another. By NHI, and they themselves are NHI because they are definitely not human like we are, and some of them are very non-human. But as good as the intentions of the researchers currently studying them are, something's going on, and their condition, at least in this, from what we're seeing in these images, it looks like there has been some deterioration, and that worries me. So I want these guys protected, and I do not want them coming to the U.S. I think that would be a horrible mistake. Look what happened to the Bet Sphere; it got switched out. But at the same time, I don't know. I think they need to take better care of it. Excuse me, and we do need better equipment and analysis techniques brought to bear on these guys. Dana Sheehan is talking about keeping it out of the hands of the U.S. And this is an AI dubbing of an English-speaking gentleman. So we'll bear with me, guys.
And related things like the Nazca mummies, as they call them, and the sphere, these are things that potentially unlock secrets about the UFO phenomenon, and that's why we want to be very careful not to let national security take over this. Could they? Oh, yes. Just like the United States, the U.S. military went into Mexico, expelled the military and took UFOs that crashed in Mexico, just snubbing the Mexican government. They're not going to get away with it. This time the people through you and your offices have had access to this and have ensured its legitimacy. You also with the bodies played a critical role in protecting it from falling into the hands of the national security state, and you are working to share the information with the people. That is the key. I am the ombudsman, so I am here to help with that, to protect this. So it would not be a good idea to take the sphere to the United States to investigate it there. No, you must not enter the jurisdiction of the national security state of the United States. You must not even try to take it to Congress. What would happen is that immediately the intelligence agency would go to the Intelligence Committee, and the Intelligence Committee would go to the Armed Services Committee and say, this has military potential. This is a new form of levitation in communications or something like that, and they would confiscate it, so you cannot go there. You must not bring this to the United States.
Now, Danny in that segment is mainly talking about the Bugosphere, but he's also talking about this in a conversation with the Nazca mummies. He's also apparently assisting the team with the Nazca mummies. So I can't wait to see, what he can bring to bear on that. We've got people like Stephen Greer getting involved. We've got U.S. Congress getting involved. We're making some headway, guys. We are making some strong, serious headway with the Nazca mummies. But the temptation is going to be to bring them to the U.S. And, like Danny was saying, with the U.S. seizing UFOs, and not just in Mexico, but around the world. And, James Fox's movie, about the Virginia incident, A Moment of Contact, the U.S. came into Brazil and took that UFO and those bodies as well. Never heard from them again, right? Never heard from about those bodies again. And I'm sure that has happened countless times throughout the world over the years. Definitely don't want that to happen with the Nazca mummies. I don't know if it would happen exactly in that way because they're so public, but something would probably happen. There'd be some shenanigans. Test results would get altered. Bodies would get damaged or go missing. Who knows what would happen, but it would be very dangerous to bring them to the U.S. So I think what needs to happen is we just need to funnel all the resources to Mexico and Peru to the people that are in possession of these specimens, particularly Peru, and just get the best quality labs created, the best researchers and scientists. I mean, down there, just a whole division just devoted to studying the Nazca mummies with top tier technology and training and know-how and experience. Getting the best people and the best equipment down there. It's going to require funding. It's going to require, attention. So hopefully, now that we have, powers within the U.S. beginning to stir on this, we can eventually get that funding and those resources directed toward the people that need it to preserve and study these incredible specimens, these specimens that will alter our understanding of the world that we live in. But this is amazing, guys. We've got bodies, y'all, and we're making progress. But there's still many battles ahead with the Ministry of Culture and with the various powers that be. But let me know what you guys think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below or becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.